AVV Nation, all of YouTube out there, what's going on? My name is Patrick France, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest, and you know what? It has been way too long since I've talked about one of my favorite stocks out there. Well, I have a pretty solid case here that I want to present to you guys about why I think this stock is about to have a pretty explosive move to the upside, and I don't want you guys to miss out on a great money-making opportunity. So if you're ready to see my case, make sure, as always, smash that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and let's jump right into it. All right, so jumping right into it here today. I wanted to start off by taking a look at a little excerpt from a Goldman Sachs research report about the Metaverse when Facebook announced they were going to be changing their name. But really, the main thing I want to be looking at here is the Web 3.0 and what Goldman thinks of it. Because Goldman Sachs pretty much runs the world of investing and have some of the brightest and best minds out there writing these research reports that help make their investment decisions and help allocate money to where they see potential growth in the future. So right at the very beginning, I want to read right from this research report. And it states, in our view, the global internet is in the middle of late innings of the innovation curve of Web 2.0, the shift from desktop to mobile computing and from local to cloud storage, and the leaders of this wave of the internet are now firmly established. In framing the next wave of computing, Web 3.0, we see the potential for dramatic shifts in industry structure. So as you can see, Web 3.0 is not just something that is a niche in the market or a niche market right now, but it seems to be catching on to a lot of big companies. There's a lot of major firms that are already working on this, such as Roblox. If we scroll down a little bit, obviously Metaverse or Facebook, but coming down in here, it gives some of the businesses that are already developing their Web 3.0 and getting down a little bit more. Here we go. So we got Meta Platforms or Facebook. We have Epic Games, Roblox, Niantic Labs, which is another gaming company. Nvidia's in here. And then there's a lot of other big names. And as always, if you want to see other names inside the Metaverse, make sure to head over to the VectorVest software and take a look at the Metaverse watch list. If you're not already a subscriber, click on the link down in the description below. You can sign up for a free trial and you can take advantage of that watch list there as well. But there's a lot of big name companies that are all putting a lot of money investing in Web 3.0. So that got me thinking, well, all these major companies are working towards Web 3.0 and the new decentralized internet that gives users more privacy and more ability to control what data people see and what data can be collected. And then I came across another article from CoinDesk, a crypto company or crypto site. And it talks about GameFi or blockchain gaming or Web 3.0 gaming. Well, over 2021, when we had the lockdowns, there was this game by the name of Axie Infinity, which saw insane amounts of new users, insane amounts of growth, and gave way or started getting new eyes on potential blockchain gaming. This is changing the business model, and as we see with any industry, it evolves over time. So we started off with basic games where you just paid a certain amount and then got the game and that was it. Then we started seeing with Fortnite and a few other games where the free-to-play model was taking over and that has become the new industry standard. Well, Axie Infinity has kind of started leading the way into the pay-to-earn style of game. This is where you actually get paid to play the game. So this is becoming the new area of gaming that could have a lot of upside potential and get the gaming industry on a whole new level, essentially. Well, it talks about Axie Infinity as the ideal industry standard, and then also comes in and mentions about how, after the popularity, after lockdown started going back down, Axie Infinity did see a crash in their marketplace because there weren't as many users, and it showed the unsustainability of their specific model. But as we've been talking about, this is in the infancy stages of this whole entire new Web 3.0. So the hunt is on is basically what they're stating of new gaming studios looking for how to attract new users. So it already talked about how Ubisoft was already looking into it And then there's also a lot of other game developers. Any major game developing studio has already set up a plan essentially on how they want to try to attack it. And the winner is going to be the one that comes out with the best model for their Web 3.0 gaming or their play to earn style of gaming. So that's really going to be the new early development stages of this whole entire new revolution in gaming. And once again, it's still in its early infancy stages, so there's still a lot of unexplored territory out there. Well, recently getting into my favorite stock now. Now that I have your attention about what's going on with the gaming industry and this Web 3.0 and all this other stuff, there's a company out there that, got a lot of attention last year, has been getting a little bit of attention this year, but that is GameStop. Well, GameStop announced that they do have their NFT marketplace coming out by the end of Q2 of 2022. So that gives us another few weeks before we see the release, if not earlier. So that gives us from now, the time of recording, until the next month or so that we should expect to see this GameStop NFT marketplace release. Right now, as you can see on the screen, I do have their beta platform up. You can sign in to become a creator. You have the Connect where you can already connect your wallet. And speaking of wallets, the GameStop crypto wallet has really started taking off on social media recently. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. The GameStop wallet beta. So basically it is powered by Loopring. I've talked about that in previous videos. Make sure to go check those out if you're not familiar with it. But this will allow you to store your crypto, your NFTs, and all of that using a decentralized, once again, Loopring layer 2 wallet here. So you get all the security features of Ethereum, but you get less gas fees because it's running on the Loopring layer 2. And that is one thing you always hear about, these NFTs and non-fungible tokens. A lot of people just think when they hear that, just the artwork that you see, just these computer generated pictures that you see. Well, yeah, that is one of the most popular uses for NFTs, but that is not the only use for NFTs. Recently, you started seeing more and more musicians starting to produce their albums as NFTs. So that way they get paid more of a cut. And then with Loopring layer 2, one of the big issues that you've seen with Ethereum is that the gas fees are always really high and it costs a lot just to mint an NFT. Well, Loopring fixes that by making it cost pennies on the dollar of what it would typically cost. So if it costs, let's say $100 to mint an NFT, well, now it may cost 10 cents. So that is the benefit of utilizing a layer 2 such as Loopring rather than doing it on the L1 of a regular Ethereum mainnet there. And as you can see, this is a beta. If you click on download now, the Chrome extension is coming soon. The mobile wallet app is coming soon for iOS. And so this could make it really become mainstream for, the average gamer out there. Now, you may be thinking, okay, this is great, but I don't want to collect a whole bunch of, pictures and put them on my phone or have them in a wallet or collect the crypto, whatever it may be. But this is just the beginning. As we stated, as Goldman agrees with, this is the early infancy stages of Web 3.0. And GameStop has made it perfectly clear over the last few quarters and their earnings reports that they are going to be, or they are putting a lot of money and a lot of time developing to be able to be at the forefront of the Web 3.0 and blockchain gaming. So while yes, right now you could potentially use it just for artwork, there's a lot of other potential uses for this, such as music. You can do it to create contracts for land agreements I've seen already. You can do this to purchase items and get physical items in real life. So there's a lot of potential uses for these contracts or for NFTs that have only just started scratching the surface of over the last year or two. So GameStop has a lot of potential. And then with that, you also have just an article I found on the GameStop wallet and the trademark. And one of the interesting things about this, though, is it links it back. Instead of GameStop wallet being linked back to GameStop, it links it back to a GameStop subsidiary of GME Entertainment. And now this is where we really start to talk about the stock. As a subsidiary, that could, with what we've seen with Ryan Cohen doing with Bed Bath & Beyond, where, they could potentially carve out the bye-bye baby and sell it for more than what the company itself is worth. This could set that up for GameStop as well. Well, we've seen when that happens with a stock, when a stock, takes its subsidiary and carves it out, that usually sends the stock price soaring. Well, now you have a subsidiary that could potentially be carved out with the GME Entertainment LLC. And now on top of that, not only do they have the potential for the carve out, which could help send the price of the stock soaring, but they've also announced a stock split in the form of a dividend, hopefully right after their earnings report or their annual shareholders meeting on June 2nd. So that, as we've seen with the big names such as Google, Amazon, Tesla, the big FANG stocks, that typically gives a nice rise in price because it lowers the price of the stock, which makes it more attractive for the average investor to jump on board who may have thought it may have been too expensive when it was over $100 a share like it is now. So that could increase new buying activity coming into the stock. Plus, on top of that, you have their marketplace getting ready to open. So there's a lot of positive signs that are all building up. And it seems like we're getting into the ending stages of all of this work that they've been developing, and now we're starting to hopefully see the rewards coming out very, very soon. So with that, let's finish off by taking a look at the graph and just see what the graph is telling us as of right now. There we go. So as we can see on our basic chart, we have the price shown in candlesticks. We have a 3 and 8 exponential moving average to show short-term momentum. Then we have the MACD here at the bottom and volume. Well, here was the news of Ryan Cohen and the board members starting to buy more stock, which is definitely a positive sign. It shows confidence in their plans. And then on top of that, you also have the news of the stock split coming up in the near future as well. Since that point, though, the market has been struggling here, and GameStop has been getting affected by that as well. So right now, though, we are seeing potential support resistance right here in this capitulation zone. I'll use a freehand line and put it on here right around 120 a share. You can see it was consolidation here before it moved lower before that initial or most recent blast off that we've had. Pulling back, consolidating once again. Volume is lightening up right now, which is definitely a good sign. When you see the stock pulling back on lower volume, that shows less selling pressure. Therefore, the main focus is still the buying pressure we saw in that first initial run-up. Now, also looking here at the MACD, we can see that the histogram, which identifies the difference between the MACD line and the signal line, is starting to shrink, which means the MACD line is starting to converge with that signal line, which indicates short-term momentum starting to slow down to the downside and maybe getting ready to reverse in the near future. But as always, we do want to see the MACD crossed above that signal line, which gives us a short-term bullish momentum indication here. We also want to see the 3 cross above the 8, which would indicate short-term momentum starting to favor the upside, confirming what we were seeing with the MACD. And we also want to see that move happen on strong volume, which indicates the overall investor sentiment is now starting to change and starting to see new buying or a new great opportunity to jump on board. So this is one to definitely keep on your radar, because when everything that we've just discussed starts to actually be released, you could expect to see the stock start to skyrocket. And I don't want to see my VV Nation miss out on a great opportunity. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have, make sure as always, smash that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, share this with all your friends, share this with all your family. And until next time, take care, adios, and toodles.
Yeah.